Hello and welcome, one and all, to the second part of Donkey Kong Country. This is Gurdet14 speaking, and we are moving on to Barrel Cannon Canyon. I am going to apologize right now for the lack of audio in the last part, mainly because, well, one, I'm kind of sick, and two, Camtasia doesn't seem to want to record my mic. I'm not entirely sure why, it just doesn't want to. So, moving on. This specific level is actually relatively difficult if you don't take the path that I took right off the bat. Turns out that this is the first of a few levels that have like total level skipping areas. There are others, and we'll probably be getting to them later down the line. And I think there's even one in this part. As you've probably been able to guess, I am actually post-commentating these because, for some reason, like I said before, I cannot do live commentary. So I am attempting to do this post, and I have to use the Windows Recorder, which only records about 60 seconds of audio, and then then it just cuts out, and then I have to press the record button again. Hey. So yeah, the reason why I decided to start playing Donkey Kong Country as opposed to some other game like Kirby is because, well, Donkey Kong Country is incredibly basic, and I like playing it. In case you can't tell, which you really should be able to tell by this point, I am using the GBA version instead of the SNES because, in all seriousness, it just has more stuff. Please note that God. Hey. Please note that I will not be doing a 100% run of this game, mainly because, well, there's a lot of shit in here that you're supposed to try and do, and I probably won't be able to do it all. I know already that I've missed several photos that I've probably been able to get really easy, namely the ground pound photo that you get if you manage to ground pound one of the crunches, the large purple dudes on the first few levels. Anyway, we have just defeated our first boss, very naughty. Yeah, there's a lot of sexual jokes that you can make about this game. Try not to do so, as they are lewd. Yes, very lewd. Anyway, that's the end of God, I do not like being sick, and I'm only going to get worse tomorrow. Yeah, we are moving on to Monkey Mines. Now, Monkey Mines is an interesting place because of two rather important things. It has both everyone's most favorite and a lot of people's least favorite levels. Those levels happen to be, actually the second level happens to be a lot of people's most favorite levels, and I can't blame them because it really is an awesome level. And I should actually be talking about this level. Winkies Walkway is interesting for one very simple reason. It's short. It is by far one of the shortest levels in the game. And I tried to make a joke about it being twice as long and no one would notice, but I decided to scrap it. I don't know why. So yes, Monkey Mines is, as you have probably noticed, a cave-ish area. This is because, well, mines happen to be in caves most of the time, unless you're working in a quarry, in which they still end up being mine-ish later on. A lot of people are probably gonna flame or flag me for being just really bad at this. The reason for that is that I'm a complete noob, and I really can't help being a noob without a lot of practice. Anyway, that's the end of Winkies Walkway. There are probably at least one easier path to go through than the one I took, especially if you take Winky. Now, this level is broke. This is everyone's favorite level if you play it normally. I choose not to. Throughout the game, you will find warp barrels. Actually, this is the only level where you're likely to find one, even though they are in the other levels. If you'll notice in the background, there are a few level designs just flying around. Those levels, I believe, happen to contain warp barrels at some point. I don't know where, and I don't exactly know how to get to them. So I probably won't be showing off any other warp barrels, which is sad because Minecart Carnage is incredibly fun to play. Really should go back and play that. And now we're moving on to a level that I really do not like for some reason, Bouncy Bonanza. Now, Bouncy Bonanza is not a hard level. It really isn't. But I tend to fail at it a lot. I'm not entirely sure why, but I do. So, yeah. We are also introduced to green zingers, as they will be called in later games. I'm not sure if they're called zingers in this game or not. I think they are. And it's only in the later games where their names get changed to, I believe, Buzz Buzz? I think it's Buzz Buzz. They get a really cool character design change, too. Anyway, Bouncy Bonanza is famous for having a lot of, like, these bouncing springs. When you jump on a bouncing spring and you actually have to press the jump button to activate it, you skyrocket. It's very important for a lot of different parts of the level, and if you manage to abuse it correctly, you can get to a certain shortcut. It's not actually a shortcut, it's the way that you're supposed to go, as it has the N of the call letters in it. Also, you're going to note that hit detection and momentum play a lot in this level. They don't screw up per se, but they definitely do act up. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe it's just because of the different sprite on the zingers. I don't know. Anyway, here is one of the bonus levels, which is not really a bonus level, it's just an animal cave, and we get Winky. Winky only appears in this game and is totally absent from all the other games. It's actually a good thing. Everyone hates Winky. Winky's only ability is the ability to kill pretty much any enemy. I think there are a few exceptions in Zinger subbreeds later on, and the fact that he doubles your jump height. That's all he does. He's not like Espresso that runs really fast and can hover, and he's not like Rambi that can actually break through walls. He just jumps really high, which is why a lot of people don't actually like him. I don't blame them. I personally don't like Winky. Up there is a bonus barrel that you can only get to if you actually, use the roll spring in order to jump up there. Or you can use Winky. I'd already lost Winky. I fail. Alright, and now we are moving on to Stop and Go Station. Now, I really hated this level as a kid. I really did. See those guys down there? You can't kill them. Except for this. I have just noticed this in my last test playthrough of this game. Yes, I did do a test playthrough first. And if you ground pound them while they're in their sleep stage, they just die. No real explanation as to why, but they do. I guess it's implying that Donkey hits the ground so hard that he causes them to go unconscious. I really don't get it. Nor do I really care. It just makes the level a lot easier. Not only do they die, but you also get a banana. And as we all know, after collecting 100 bananas, you get an extra life. So yeah, it's a good idea to decide to ground pound these guys every time you see them. Unfortunately, that's not as easy as it sounds. See, a few seconds after the go light comes on, they become invincible again. And if you're still trying to ground pound them during that time, you will in fact still get hit. It's annoying, but it makes sense. After all, they are made apparently of rock. I think that's why they're called Rock Crocs. I'm not entirely sure what their name is anymore. But this is the only level that they appear in, and I'm kind of happy for that. I was just checking to see if there was a bonus area down there. There was not. Oh well. Alright. I should probably explain the few differences between the Kongs. Unfortunately, I'll probably be getting into that next level. If you don't have Rambi, you pretty much have to use barrels in order to... God. You pretty much have to use barrels in order to, break through walls and such. And it's annoying. It actually is. It's not very annoying, but it's definitely up there. So, yeah, it's just not all that cool. To me and a few other people, probably. I was trying to go for a specific photo that I think I might have already gotten, or I just wasn't doing it the right way there. And yeah, Stop and Go Station. This level actually haunts a lot of people's dreams simply because the palette on the SNES game is actually a lot easier to discern. So it makes this level a lot easier on the SNES. Whereas on the GBA, even though the palette does do a definite switch, it doesn't do, it's not glaringly obvious that the switch has occurred. Well, it kind of is. So anyway, guys, that is the end of part 2 of Let's Play Donkey Kong Country, or rather, let's try to play. I am your host, Gurdette14, and I will see you guys later. Be safe.